When's lunch? When's lunch? When's lunch? Oh no.
Welcome to When's Lunch, episode 3.
Welcome to When's Lunch. I'm one of your hosts, Spencer.
I'm Matheson. We're happy to be here.
We come to you as the exclusive and only podcast done on a balcony.
Yes.
And we're proud of that.
Heavily researched. I am over 100% sure we are the only podcast on a balcony.
The same. I'm over 100% sure.
Right. Yes, exactly. We got our coffee. I'm drinking some out of a Nashville cup today.
I'm drinking out of a Palm Springs Ace Hotel and Swim Club cup.
Ooh,
very
nice. Does it say that?
Very regal. It does right here.
Okay.
Beautiful, huh?
All I saw was a mountain. That is great. You've been there, correct?
I have been there.
How was it?
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, how you feeling today?
I feel pretty good, actually. Got
Yeah?
a lot of stuff done today. I threw my back out sleeping,
Oh
which
my
is
God, how did you do that?
I don't know. I do that every once in a while. It hurts.
So what happens is you wake up and your back's thrown out.
Yeah, I just wake up and then
Amazing.
I twist or I breathe and then I realize that something is not correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
That happens, I feel like, when I lift weights in the gym, but I've never done that sleeping.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I'm an aggressive sleeper. I'm just ready to sleep, you know?
Yeah, let's talk touring. Let's shift gears here.
How long? It's been, 5 years playing together?
So everybody who's watching this probably knows, but if you don't, Matheson is my drummer.
Yes.
Not my friend. I pay him to drum, and then we part ways. Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
I'm kidding. We're best friends.
Oh.
And
It's been documented.
we've been touring together for...
It's been like 5 years.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
In April, it'll be 5 years. Wow. So it's funny because they actually, my whole band was hired originally as just like hired guns,
Yeah.
musicians to play, and then we obviously became great friends, and have toured with me ever since. 5 years, man.
Yeah.
We've had some wild times at 5 years.
I remember our first gig. It was in San Diego or Santa Barbara. It was at the zoo.
Anaheim.
Anaheim?
Yeah,
Okay.
Santa Ana.
Santa Ana, that's
Yeah.
right. Is that the zoo for a birthday party?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was for probably my biggest fan in the world.
Yeah.
And her mom, who's also one of my biggest fans in the world.
Her mom's
And
great.
They flew us all out, and they put us up at a nice hotel. That was a lot of fun.
There was the Batmobile. It was there.
Oh yeah, that was such a weird gig too. Like weird but cool. We had a green room of sorts, like an RV.
Oh yeah,
That was cool though.
I think one of us got to drive the Batmobile. I can't remember, but someone drove. I think you drove the Batmobile.
I think I drove the Batmobile. Yeah.
Which is
damn,
awesome.
that was before TikTok, and that would have been a big.
That was not really on the brink of. That was like before. I feel like that was before social media was like kind of huge. Maybe I could be wrong about that.
It was definitely a thing, but like I just wasn't in that. I didn't want to be in the Vine world really.
Yeah.
Vine was, I think, happening at the time, but dude, it's become this thing where like I am thinking whenever I see stuff in real life, whenever I'm doing something, I'm thinking like, well, how could this be TikTok content?
Really, you're deep.
It's not good.
The quarantine.
Matheson. It's not good. It's really not good.
No, but
I just think of like me driving the Batmobile could go viral on TikTok.
it could.
Yeah.
Was it hard to drive? Do you remember? I guess that was so long ago.
I
Was it like
think-
a regular car?
I think they've it's like a regular old
They
car.
just like put a bunch of stuff on top.
It like feels like it's gonna go fast. It goes. It was cool though.
Yeah.
It was like the one they used in the 60s.
Yeah, it was the old one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was our first show together. Damn.
I played a cajon and a octopad, and my octopad stand was my box for my cajon.
Great.
Very professional. I went to music school, clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. And then,
And then we've gone on countless tours. Our first tour together was this R&B singer Somo.
Somo tour with Johnny Stimson.
Yeah, I was thinking before we did this episode, we were talking about we're gonna tell tour stories, and I was thinking about how much I wanted to talk about.
Well, that's on you. I'll talk about anything. So
I know you will.
you can stop me if it's not what you want to talk about.
Well, we'll stew on it. We'll discuss and see
Yeah.
where it goes. But there's a lot of stories that someday will be told.
I think I would go to jail if the things said and done in the van were public.
It's not good.
And but anyways, yeah,
not good.
Summer Tour was fun.
It was really fun. It was our first time touring ever, really, on a real tour, and
That was pretty much my first real like time away from home.
Me too.
Like over a week being gone.
yeah, we were gone for a couple weeks, which was a long time.
We
And
hit all the cities too.
we hit all the C market cities. We literally were, like the biggest one.
Yeah,
we
like
hit was
weird cities.
we hit like college. It was like a college market tour. So, we were playing R&B covers pretty much exclusively in like one
Oh,
original.
yeah.
This is before I really had
We
original
played
music.
Money, dude.
Basically, it's a van full of early 20s guys on a sorority girl tour, essentially. It was just you look at the crowd, you just see sorority girls.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, oh my lord.
This is life.
Yeah. This is life.
And you were single back then.
I was a single man.
Single man.
I'm a good man now.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're a
I'm-
taken man.
Yeah, I'm a good guy.
It's true. You are a good guy.
In that regard at least. But yeah, it was a crazy time, man. It was wow.
That was
Glad I didn't do more bad stuff.
mistakes could have been had.
Mistakes
Or made.
mistakes were had and made.
More mistakes could have
More
been had.
could have been.
But that like musically speaking was real because that's how we met Ron and Garrison.
Yep.
Ron Allen and Garrison Brown, awesome musicians out here in
They
LA.
play for people,
Garrison's
large artists.
Garrison's with Post Malone right now. I
Post
think
Malone, yeah, and Ron was with Juice World. Rest in peace, Juice World.
It's true.
Which was a sick gig for him.
Yeah.
I was obviously super upset Juice World died, but I was also bummed for my friend to lose a friend, but also,
He loses a huge gig,
yeah, to lose.
which sounds shitty to say, but
It
like
does,
there's
it
no
sounds-
way around it. Like
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even not even talk about the financial aspect. Like he was touring like Dubai and like
know.
Australia, and it was just so cool. But yeah, we met a lot of people on that tour. We met a lot of musicians and stuff. And that actually,
Johnny Stimson was awesome too.
Johnny Simpson, great guy.
That's how I met Tehran Lockett, his drummer.
Nice. Oh yeah.
All the people.
Yeah, and then I think like that tour in general gave me the touring bug. Like that was like,
Oh, yeah.
oh dude, if we can travel around cities and play songs for people to actual crowds, then this is all that I want to do.
Yeah.
You know?
The reality of like this could be life was like definitely set in that because
Yeah.
and you lost your per diem like day 3.
So I still don't know. I mean, I think it was just it was 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had fucking PayPal and Venmo then, didn't they?
They
But
definitely
for
had
some reason,
ways.
my manager did cash per diems, which is fine. Like it's not like I know people still do that. Like,
Yeah.
literally Maddie, when she does movies, like sometimes her per diem is given to her in like $100 bills.
Really?
Yeah. Just like some people just do it that way to like, I don't know, some sort of write off or something. I don't know. So we got all this cash. I think it was like $650.
It was like weeks worth of money.
It was like all your per diem at once.
yeah.
We stop at Chipotle. I use a little bit of it. I'm like, oh, I'm balling, dude. I get it. Next thing I know, we're in the car for a little bit, 30, 40 minutes, maybe an hour, and I have a full-on panic attack. Turns out the money was lost. I think maybe I dropped it at Chipotle. Someone snatched it. Why wouldn't they?
There's literally no way of knowing. Also, it was such a crazy amount of money that like
A
if
crazy amount
someone
of money
did see
to
that,
lose
like
instantly.
it's not like $10. Like I dropped a 20 or whatever out of my
Dude,
pocket.
I was really upset at that.
Well, yeah, I don't blame you. That really sucks.
And that was also before we like I said, it was our first tour. So
Yeah.
I was making zero money, like negative money in music.
Yeah,
So $600 to me was, I mean, still is a lot of money.
that's
but
still a
like,
lot of money. Yeah,
that was like that was more money than I had.
and just went elsewhere. That was the tour. I think.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Is it inappropriate?
I don't think so.
Oh, go ahead.
Now I'm nervous. I don't know. No, I'm not. I don't think this is inappropriate. But that was the tour that Alex Mason completed the 10,000 calorie challenge.
Right. Our friend ate 10,000 calories in 24 hours. A year later, he did 20,000.
Yeah.
In 48
That
hours.
was the 10,000. I thought was truly. Which, by the way, I don't know. Like, to put this into terms we can understand, like 10,000 calories is, I think, like 12 or 13 Chipotle burritos. So
Yeah,
if you had to like do that, like think about eating 13 Chipotle burritos today.
I'd like to say that when you hear 10,000 calories, it sounds, I mean, I'll be full and I feel a little sick, but it'll be fine. It's so much harder than that.
Yeah.
Getting calories, like you can eat, I've eaten 2,000 calories at a meal before. Try doing 2,000 calories 5 times.
Yeah, it's insane.
Impossible. I mean, it's possible, obviously.
Well, and I'm pretty sure too that he had sworn off candy for whatever reason. So he was not eating like the most calorically dense thing you could eat. I remember we got dinner somewhere, and like we all got like regular dinner, probably like a Mediterranean place, something like that. And it was like right before the show, like at the venue, we like ate like regular dinner, and then Alex went immediately across the street or next door and bought a large pizza. Like right after dinner.
Oh yeah,
and then started
I remember this
because he was hell bent on
I forget what that was,
challenge.
but I remember
he did it.
I cheated on my diet with that pizza. I had a half piece.
He did do it, to his credit.
Yeah.
The 20,000 was you weren't there for the end of it, but he was like,
No, I was. I walked in the room after he had like almost thrown up, and I saw him lay on the bed, and I saw, he was I think at like 18,000 calories, and he had to finish by like 9 a.m. So he went and got a bunch of chocolate milk and a bunch of peanut butter, and was just like eating the peanut butter, chugging the milk back and forth. And I believe I wasn't there for this, but you said he literally went to take a gulp and went,
Yeah, like towards the end, it was like but he would bring the milk up to his mouth, truly almost throw up, like mentally get over it, and then chug more milk. But he did it, which was amazing.
Disgusting.
Maybe that's the right word.
But
for
a feat, a feat for sure.
I mean, maybe I could have. I don't know if I could do it.
I think we could do 10,000.
Yeah.
And it is. Let me also reiterate: it's not easy to do 10,000, but I think that we could. I think with our appetites, we could.
I think the thing about the 20,000, I don't know why I did this. The thing about the 20,000 is that he was only at 8,000 after 24 hours. I think, so we had to do 12 the next day.
It's diet in general on tour is just the hardest too,
It's
man.
tough.
And
Tough.
you start out like the first week could be super healthy and lean, and then you know what really kills me every tour? When I get sick.
Yeah, which is inevitable, 100% inevitable.
Every single tour,
Everyone gets sick once.
I've been sick on. So the thing that makes me feel better is like calories and food, and I'm also taking like antibiotics and steroids, and you can't.
You have to eat. Yeah.
You have to eat a lot.
Yeah.
So then I'm just eating like sandwiches and like shit that I don't normally eat.
Right.
Yeah, but even if you're not sick, it's like it's hard to stay on your diet,
Well, when
It's
you're
like impossible.
when you're in Chicago, you gotta get pizza.
bro.
Like you just have to.
On my
And-
on my first headline tour ever, the Freaking Out tour. After the show, I was starting to get sick, and we had a sold out show in Chicago.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was balling. It was so much fun. I decided I was gonna have a pizza, of deep dish pizza.
Oh, yeah.
I was just gonna do it. So our guitarist Jordan bought about 4 of them, and we passed them out through the van. And me and Jordan had our own pizza in the front. I ended up eating 4.5 slices of deep dish pizza,
Which is a lot.
And the deep
That's
dish
a
pizza
lot.
is like that big and that thick. And I had the worst acid reflux I'd ever had in my life.
Oh yeah.
It was horrible, but it tasted so damn good.
Yeah, that's like stuff you're not gonna pass up. Not to mention too that, you get alcohol in your rider, so maybe you're feeling a little a
tipsy.
certain kind of way,
Right.
And then pizza sounds good.
That's a good question. When was the drunkest you've ever been on tour?
Oh man, on tour, I'm not sure.
Tour, I'm not sure. There's been a lot of drunk nights.
Yeah, I mean, I've never like thrown up on tour. Because,
But like the drunkest you can remember where we were just partying. With our routing, there's hardly any like late night parties.
That's the thing. It's like it's tough because we're always on the move. Or I mean, I've definitely never played on tour. I've never been like drunk on stage, like too drunk. 100%.
Just tipsy.
Yeah, like we'll like obviously take shots in the green room or something like that beforehand, or a bit of whiskey, which apparently is what I'm known for now.
Whiskey king.
It's just, but yeah, I mean, one of the things this just came to mind, but I'm not even sure if this was the most drunk. But when we were in New York, I can't remember what we were there for. This was really recent. We went to that bar underground with the whole crew went, and we met up with those people from iHeart.
Right.
Yeah. And but we were just all there.
I remember
that.
You got pretty faded there?
Well, yeah, because one of our good friends, Caden, just kept buying pitchers of Bud Light.
Oh, because they were like $4 for a pitcher.
It was like considerably cheaper to buy a pitcher than just like a bottle or a can or whatever.
So then you just were drinking beer and got lifted.
So I think Caden and I literally were not carrying around cups. We were quite literally carrying the pitcher and just like dumping it into our
Oh, we played beer pong
We
there.
played beer pong.
That was a lot
there.
of fun.
Yeah.
That was a good time. Yeah, I think that, my number for shots before a show is 2.
Mm-hmm.
And like not giant shots, just 2. I remember the times that I've taken 3 shots. And I just remember like during the intro song, I'm like, just like a little too.
Yeah.
Just a little
Like
too
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been there, but there are times
I mean, not even drunk. Just like, that feeling where you're just like, I don't know if you've been there because you like as a singer, I'm on stage and I'm all in control, and then it's just this like 5% that's like a little bit like a little too loose, and I'm like, and by song number 3, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like you get rid of it, but I don't like feeling like I'm gonna forget to breathe here.
I don't think I've ever been like that on stage, but
Right.
I definitely, and I apologize if this has happened on one of your shows, but I definitely have, I'll like have an extra shot or 2, and then I'm like, it's time for some cool drum fills that maybe don't fit.
I probably prefer that.
Well, it's good because it's always fun.
What
Not
about-
sure if it's musically correct.
Have you ever gone on stage high?
No, I can't do it. Like
There's no way.
I've played, I've like jammed or
In a garage
in
or
a garage and stuff like that, and it's like it is considerably worse.
I've obviously never been on stage high. I can't imagine trying to remember to breathe in between words would be out of this world.
there's just no focus because I would just be I just want to be relaxing and like just like float off into whatever.
Totally.
That one time we did heroin.
Oh, dude, that was wild.
I don't
Out in
remember
Chicago, the heroin show. That was sick.
All the fans did it. We passed it out. And
Oh, God.
that's not real. Sorry. But anyways, coffee. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, you're kind of right though. I mean, just the way that we tour is grueling's the wrong word, but we're just in the grind.
We're in the grind because we don't have a tour bus yet.
Yeah.
And even if we did have a tour bus, our routing is for the last 2 tours has been really, really intense to where we have a show in Denver, Colorado, and then the next day we have a show in Salt Lake City, and that's like
Yeah.
8 hours.
It's crazy.
And it's like, you get done with the show, and then we were doing post-show meet and greets, so we wouldn't get out there till like midnight, 1 a.m., drive a couple hours, get to bed at 3 a.m., wake up at 8 to drive the remaining 6 hours.
It's
grueling.
necessary.
It's brutal.
And there's something like romantic almost about it just because like that is the grind.
Right.
Like and that is awesome. Like there is something awesome and like very rock and roll about the grind. But it also doesn't feel like that while when you're in it because you're just
the
sad and
sleep
tired.
thing, man.
Yeah.
The things that get me are like the sleep and the lack of working out.
Yeah. The gym is I will admit that kills me.
It does, man, because like this COVID-19 thing reminds me of that a little bit where like I have to work out every day for my sanity,
Right.
not even necessarily for like to get a pump.
Yeah.
I've been so used to in the last 5 years of my life lifting weights, running, doing abs every day.
Yeah.
A couple days off here and there. So when I hit like a 3-day mark of not doing anything on tour, I feel gross. I feel saggy. I feel soft.
Well, and it's not even.
I feel not sexual. My drive is down.
That's true. We're in reverse. We're in neutral.
My sex drive is dropped below my feet. I'm fucking.
And then I have to pick it up.
Yeah, dude.
And I don't want to do it,
but you will.
But I have to do it.
You offer?
I would do it.
Thank you.
I would shave your back if it came down to it.
God.
I'm just saying, I would.
Yeah.
I had a point I was going to make. Oh, well, and because the thing, it's not even like a laziness thing too. It's like literally you can't. There's 0 minutes to go to the gym today because
I have that rule with like I have to get 6 hours of sleep. Mm-hmm. And if I can get 6 hours of sleep and there is a gym at the hotel, most of the time there's not. Then I'll do something or I'll go for a run or something. But like most of the time we're fucked, man.
Well, and that goes back to the other thing too, is that you could potentially sacrifice an hour or 2 hours of sleep to get to the gym, but then that's maybe how you get sick because you're not sleeping.
That's the weird line, dude. That's where it's like, do I get 4 hours and then work out for an hour and a half and then probably get sick 2 days later? Right. Or do I just sleep 6.5? Like it's, and even then 6.5 is nothing.
Yeah.
Like
true.
Right now with this coronavirus, I'm sleeping 9 hours a night.
Yeah, I slept like 9.5 hours last night.
Dude, doesn't it feel good?
It feels, physically feels good. It mentally feels.
I'm a piece of garbage.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly how I felt. I didn't sing like that when I woke up, but
I'm a piece of garbage.
Yeah, that's much better impression,
right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just the first thing that came to mind was, this is a good story though, is this on the Freaking Out tour.
Okay.
We played in Boston, Massachusetts.
Great show.
One Harry Connick Jr. was there.
He was.
To watch you perform, which is awesome.
I looked out at halfway through our first song, and I looked out in the crowd, and I just see, a sea of 16 to 23, 24, 25, like all girls, right? Mm-hmm. Couple dudes scattered throughout. Shout out dudes. I love seeing like a few more dudes in my shows these days. And then I look, and then there's a sea of people, and then boom, right in the back is Harry Connick Jr. with a bright white Spencer Sutherland shirt on in the back, just like not cheering. Everybody's like kind of like going crazy because it's the first song, and he's just back there like
he's analyzing. He's musically analyzing
for sure. He's like looking at like the way we're playing and like the way my voice is working and stuff, and it was pretty cool though.
He was really nice. He was really awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He treated us well at Mardi Gras too. It was a good time.
I hate you for that, but
it was good.
You did invite me, I guess.
Got to sing with him
and Bryan Cranston.
What
a bizarre pairing.
What a weird name drop moment.
But it's true.
Yeah, I was saying with Harry Connick Jr. Also had a dance off with Bryan Cranston, same stage. 5 minutes later.
That is, I mean, this is kind of a tangent, but I think a lot of younger people don't appreciate Harry Connick, but he like for real. Sorry.
Wait, what? We went off on a big tangent. What was your story about leaving Boston?
Oh, I was gonna say that. So we'll come back to Harry later, but no, that was one of those nights because we wanted to hang so bad because Harry was there. We had a couple friends there. We were drinking and hanging, but that was like we played in DC the next day, which was far. For some reference, we played in New York, then Boston, then DC. So we went ba ba boom. Yes,
which didn't make a lot of sense, but I know that like it depends on like venues availability.
Yeah, there's stuff that's out of our control for sure. But
yeah, but I just remembered that was the most brutal. We didn't hardly sleep at all.
I was real grumpy the next day.
Were you?
Just like
in DC.
Yeah, in DC.
When we were in DC at this venue, I felt like a motherfucker. I felt bad, dude.
Yeah.
I felt bad. I was like, my voice is just coming back a little bit. Dude, this is really crazy, but I had this weird ass like zit that got infected right here.
I don't remember this.
And it was like it was huge, dude. And I remember like because we weren't sleeping and resting and staying hydrated, it just got worse and worse.
Yeah.
I covered this bitch up with makeup and like That was a bad. There's always that stretch in the tour.
There's always those one shows, which is a bummer. I mean, we still perform great, but
We do.
I mean, we obviously always
It was that
do
show,
our
and
best.
if it was like the smallest show of the tour, and it was a weird night, and people weren't like hype.
Yeah,
The
I
green-
like DC a lot.
I do too. The green room was weird. It was like a curtain.
Yeah, the green room was literally a curtain next to the stage.
Yeah, that was a weird one, but it was still like. That's the thing is like your least favorite show on tour. Not even saying that was. It's still fucking awesome. Like you still have that
yeah.
realization where you're like, I get to do what I love. People
and like
bought your shirts.
Yeah,
People
absolutely.
bought tickets. People are so excited that you're there in their city. So
I think again, like we're talking about it right now because that was such a grindy, cool,
It was
like
a
rock
moment.
and roll moment.
Yeah.
You know, when we're like, we weren't sleeping, get to the hotel. I think literally like 4 a.m. that time around.
that was
And-
brutal.
See you in 45 minutes.
That's where that saying came from. So Matheson will go to bed if it's a short night of sleep. If it's like a 6-hour night, he'll be like, "All right, see you guys in 45 minutes."
That's what it feels like.
And now I say it every time I have a flight in the morning. I'll say it to anybody. I'll be like, "All right, good night. See you in 45 minutes." Because it does. It feels like you're just taking a little nap.
Yeah, but
Oh, I'm gonna sleep so well tonight just thinking about that.
just yeah, and to make up for the lack of sleep that we've had in
Yeah.
the past.
We've also been on some tours that have been not so great. Also,
A lot of low points.
a lot of tours where, we were opening up for people that we probably shouldn't have been opening up for. I remember there are a couple of shows where I was like, I think I'm definitely have more fans than the other people that people I'm opening for have here.
Yeah.
But I remember we hit this one show in Amityville, New York. First of all, strange market for pop music.
Weird place.
Just happy to go anywhere,
Yeah.
honestly.
I was thrilled.
We played this show. We did a pre-show meet and greet, and there were like 7 people. No, there was like 2 people for the meet and greet. It was literally 2 people, and I
Better
was
than
like,
0.
"Ooh, Lord!" So
Yeah.
played the show. Literally 7 tickets sold.
Yeah.
7
But-
tickets sold. Not even a full row of people, and this is a tiny ass bar.
That was
venue.
such a weird venue too.
Yeah, that was weird. It was like a rock venue. It was like a hard rock venue.
Yeah, for sure.
And there were 7 people in the front row, and we put on a full band show.
That always makes me appreciate, the sold out crazy
Yeah.
shows at like the arena show this
Right.
past winter, and like it sounds very storybook or movie-esque, but you literally do think about those things. It's like, yeah,
Totally.
3-4 years ago we were actually playing to 10 people.
Yeah,
And-
I posted
and thrilled to be playing for 10 people, and then
Yeah.
and then it's like here's literally an arena packed, which is nuts.
I posted a video today on my Instagram story of me singing Jonas Brothers in 2010.
Oh yes,
And it was the first time I had sang really in front of people. I was playing acoustic guitar on my back patio, and it was my brother's graduation party, I think, from high school. And there were people there, probably like 50 people, and I remember like how nervous I was. But having that, like,
perspective.
I mean, that was this summer it'll be 10 years ago,
Yeah, which is weird.
which is super weird, but it was cool to see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the journey is.
I got a lot of DMs that were like, look where you've gotten,
Yeah.
which is cool, to look.
Well, that's kind of what I'm
we've
saying.
gotten.
Is that it's like that those shows to 10 people, those super long drives, like that all means something. Like it's
Yeah.
all moving towards a cool thing.
Yeah, and at the
And-
end of the day, if it isn't, you're still playing music, for doing what you love, keeping the dream alive.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing. I mean, truly, I don't know if anyone thinks that I or we are bullshitting, but like I genuinely do love doing it. Like if there's 3 people, like I'm gonna be ecstatic to play drums.
Yeah, like
and that sounds annoying and like stupid, but it really is real.
and the more important thing is we're gonna do this forever. Like we're in too deep already.
Especially if we get robot bodies.
Yeah.
and then we'll
We're just gonna do this forever with robot bodies, and it's gonna be great.
or we'll live out the plot to Green Room that we watched the other night.
Oof. Watched a horror movie the other night about this punk band who went and played this like neo-Nazi bar in like way out Washington state somewhere.
Actually, good acting.
Yeah,
the movie.
yeah. And essentially, spoiler alert in 3, 2, 1. You better pause this. Pretty much everybody gets killed. Like the whole band gets killed. Everybody dies. It's wild. But
Patrick Stewart's in it.
Patrick Stewart is weirdly in it for.
He's the head of the Nazis.
I know.
Patrick Stewart is the head of the Nazis.
Sounds not accurate. But yeah, we're gonna live that out at some point.
I can't wait.
We're gonna go up and we're gonna be playing stadiums, and then on our way back down, we're back to playing like biker bars,
which we did on the Jack and Jack tour.
This seems like a popular flight route. Everybody's going to Vegas.
Southwest again, I think.
Oh yeah. Yes, we played a biker bar on the Jack and Jack tour, Minneapolis. That was actually really fun.
No disrespect to the biker bar.
No. I mean, if the fans are right, you could be in a basement.
I remember I had to use the bathroom after sound check, and there weren't any doors
on the
stalls. And they're like, "Yeah, you can go in the girls' room if you want." And then
why aren't there doors in the stalls?
I have no idea.
Because of cocaine or something? Maybe?
Yeah, I guess maybe they're trying to
sell drugs. I don't know. It's a fucking biker bar.
But
I remember like the people outside. I want to go say hey to some fans outside, and they're like, "Dude, this is a sketchy ass area. I don't know why you guys are playing here." I was like, "I don't know. I'm just following the tour."
I mean, it's not your decision at all. But
yeah, that was the sweatiest I had ever been playing a show.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I like ruined the shirt that I had on.
Yeah,
I had a wife beater on, and then over I had like a button up shirt, and the wife beater I literally threw away.
Right after the show.
Yeah, I threw it away. It's gnarly, man.
Yeah.
That was a very, very, very fun tour. One of my favorites of all time.
Jack and Jack tour?
Yeah. That was those are great shows, man.
It's almost a year ago.
I know. I want to go back on tour so bad, dude.
We can't talk about it. It
makes you sad.
It just, yeah. I mean, I just would love to be touring right now. And we're quarantined.
Hello. Hi. How are you? Thank you so much for listening to When's Lunch. Exclusively the only podcast done on a balcony. It's just science, guys. We've looked it up everywhere. It's true. That's why you hear planes, helicopters, people screaming, all the above. Hey, if you haven't yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you like this video. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple or the podcast app, screw me and just keep listening.
I was going to ask if you have top 3 favorite shows that we've ever played. I guess I don't have to be involved if there was shows before me, but
there's little shitty shows for a couple people.
Yeah,
but then I'm glad I played. Top 3 shows. I think on my
doesn't have to be in order.
It wasn't my first. Okay, it was my first headlining. They were my first headlining shows ever. They were just like 4 shows that I played last year early, about a year ago.
Sweater shows.
It was called the Sweater Shows, and we played in Cincinnati.
Oh yeah,
and that was like my first sold out headline show, and I remember like how that feeling was wild.
Seen on the marquee, Spencer Sutherland sold out.
Unbelievable,
pretty cool.
Unbelievable. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and say the Freaking Out tour New York City was one of my favorites.
Yep.
Tied with the Freaking Out tour LA. I love that show too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think to round it out, that arena show, the Tampa Jingle Ball, was really special.
Oh yeah.
This past December, a few
100%.
months ago. Just for like what it was, and I just remember like how it was that feeling too, where you get done and you're just like, oh my Lord, I just did that.
Yeah.
We just got to do that, and it was the only one we've ever played to this day. Still, it was only one, but it was like
you get off stage too, and it's like there's Lizzo and there's Sam Smith,
bro, like,
which is just
what
like
the hell,
actually insane.
Yeah,
and
then
they watched.
And then you just they watch, mm-hmm. And then you talk to them. They're your peers because you're playing in the show,
right?
But in reality, I've been covering Sam Smith for 7 years of my life.
Yeah, and
I have like 4 Sam Smith covers that I privated on YouTube. And and then Lizzo's there, and we cover Lizzo, and Normani's there, and I cover Fifth Harmony, and it's just like, but then in that moment, you're like, we are on the show together.
Yeah,
we are peers. Feels really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there is, like I think the peers thing is tough Like it's a tough thing to grasp, especially for me, I guess. Like
Bro, it's tough. I mean, even for like artists that like blow up real fast.
Yeah.
And they're like the biggest artists in the world, and then they go play with like their idols, and their idols like them.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and like yeah, exactly.
crazy.
Like obviously for the artist perspective, and then like I know who Sam Smith's drummer is just because like
Yeah, you're
I'm,
a fan
like-
of his drumming.
like just like yeah, you just like know people who play for who and stuff. So it's
Right.
like seeing and it was the same thing where it's like we chatted after the show and he was like, "Yeah, you sound great, man. Like this is cool. Like what it's like you just chat about
You're like, oh shit.
yeah, and like but I felt like intimidated just because I know who this person is and he's playing for a huge artist, but then like he's treating me 100% like
Yeah,
a
because you guys
equal.
are equals now.
Yeah, which is like actually insane.
What about you? Top 3?
Freaking Out LA was one of the first ones that came to mind.
That was fucking rocking, dude.
super cool.
That was cool too because all the industry people were there and they got to see for the first time like, oh shit, this is like some legit like
That's what I was
operation
gonna
they have on
say
going there.
is that it. To my memory, I'm sure there's been a couple shows here and there where there's been industry people, friends, people that I care about and respect. It's like all those people get to see because we put a ton of work into the show. Obviously, you know that. So
that was the
like,
first one where since I've obviously like signed with the agency and a label and like these legit companies, we were able to really get the people out
Right.
and all the friends. That was the first one, and the Troubadour was going to be like that on steroids, and it will be.
It will, yes.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and it just like is nice. It was a cool feeling to have the amount of work that we put in like feel appreciated,
Acknowledged, for sure.
because like I said, we as you know, we obviously put a ton of work into those
We
shows.
love
So
that, yeah.
it's cool to have people get to see what you've been working on.
Other two.
Man, I mean the arena show, Tampa arena show is hard to beat just because it's a
Gotta put that
freaking
out there.
arena.
Yep.
And that's like really hard to beat.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I mean, I know that
You know what else, which I thought you were going to say, was that that first show back after my after the X Factor, like my 8-month hiatus, 9-month hiatus of
Yeah.
like no performing, changed everything about myself, changed my whole image, changed
Oh, yeah.
wrote for months and months and months, and then it was this show, and right before I went on stage to this particular show, I was like, this might be that moment. This might be the moment if I get no crowd reaction. This might be. I don't know if this is for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never told anybody that, but
Yeah.
I was out on side stage, pit of my stomach, just like, if this show doesn't work,
Yeah.
this is it. So I went out there, and it was me opening for Bozzy and 5 Seconds of Summer,
Oh, yeah.
and I remember that was such a gratifying feeling that the
Yeah.
crowd fucked so much with it, and the crowd was so in.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites too. I came off stage and I cried.
Really?
Yeah, I was by myself.
That was
I was
hell yeah,
so
dude, that's really cool.
fucking excited that
Yeah.
the real me worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Well, it's a very
like,
vulnerable moment, obviously.
I'm finally wearing the shit I like. I got my hair the way that I like, not that I think I should have it.
Yeah.
I'm singing the songs that I like. I'm ready to flail around on stage.
Yeah.
Not be like a pop artist exactly.
Yeah.
And then it fucking worked, and I remember
I remember that show. People loved it.
oh, dude, that was like the beginning of a new life for me.
Hell yeah. That's actually really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude.
That's actually really sweet.
It was a real scary moment and a miracle moment for me.
Well, and this is maybe a bit of a tangent, but I think that's really cool that you were vulnerable or brave enough to do that, because I think a lot of people they just never get to that point where they're willing to just be themselves. And
Most don't, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
it was so hard too, because before that I had been being that fucking spiked hair R&B sexy guy singer
yeah,
because I saw it work with other people.
yeah,
And then to step into my own and be like, oh, I fucking love 70s clothes. I'm gonna wear some 70s clothes. I'm gonna wear tube socks.
Well, and I think that comes across, and we've talked about this before too.
It's
but,
like people respond to a realistic.
yeah, people respond to you being genuine. They can tell if you're being yourself. They can tell if you're being fake. The opposite,
Yeah, people definitely respond to a real brand, and I hate to say the word brand, but as you develop who you are, it turns into a brand. And then like all your stuff, like when I design my merch, I think about like if I would like to wear this if I went to a show every single time. So then it's like cohesive and it feels real.
Yeah.
I never want something to feel like, you know, made for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's very cool. That entire time I thought of another show.
Which one?
Well, this is from like a different perspective, but Jack and Jack tour in Orlando. I probably wasn't one of your favorite ones.
No, it was a very good show. It was one of my
But I
favorites.
remember because we were playing for Alec, obviously too, and I remember that show, just for both you and Alec, musically was like, I remember feeling like that musically couldn't have gone any better.
Yeah.
As far as like executing parts, like
that was a good. The
groove,
fans were crazy
like,
there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just remember that like coming off stage and being like, I really don't think we could have played that show any better. Like
Right.
everyone involved, which is a great feeling, obviously.
Right. That's an awesome feeling.
Yeah.
How long have we been chatting? Any
I don't know.
idea? Let's
could
turn on
look.
the Instagram live.
Hey everyone, this is Matheson, the fan-voted #1 host of When's Lunch. Thank you for checking us out. If you haven't already, just go ahead and click that subscribe button and follow us on Instagram at When's Lunch Pod. Thank you so much. Story that I just thought of.
Hey,
When we drove to Arizona for one gig in a car dealership.
let me tell you about that show. Let me tell you about that journey.
Yes.
One of my favorite. That was one of my favorite travel tour moments of my life. Not the show. The show was not great. Everything else about the travel was so fun. That was the first time I had gone across America.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
That was a lot of fun, man.
That what made me think of that was the 20,000 that was when Alex did 20,000.
That's right.
That trip. But yeah, that was, don't get me wrong, I loved it. It was such an amazing like journey, and like I'll remember it forever, but I'll never forget like doing that, playing a pretty mediocre show and then being
In a
like,
car dealership.
let's go home. Like we like
The
it
next
was
day.
Yeah, the next day. Like we drove 2 days, played a weird car dealership show, and then just turned around and went home.
That was horrendous.
Which was just I mean, again, like the experience is awesome.
But
and, like,
like
that kind of
we
stuff
did
is
have a
cool.
good time. That's when we started telling ghost stories in the tour van.
Oh my god.
That's the real secret with touring is to do. We did stand up comedy for a long time, but we started doing ghost stories and like
Yes.
scary stories, and that is the key when you're in the middle of nowhere and it's pitch black at night.
When you're deep in Arizona.
Yeah,
and you're
exactly.
scared.
Exactly.
All right, first question.
Let's do it.
Craziest fan experience. Is this an appropriate question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had a couple like weird things, inappropriate things that happened that
Yeah.
I was not okay with.
Yeah.
But
Anything you can report to the people?
I've been grabbed places before that was not cool, and I said, "Don't fucking do that again."
Like your large intestine?
A little lower.
Small intestine.
Craziest fan experience is probably when I was home for Thanksgiving a couple years ago, and I went for a run with my friend, and we noticed this car like kind of in front of our house going back and forth a couple times, and I thought maybe it was someone from Columbus that like lived in my neighborhood who like wanted to say hey, because I saw it was like a girl like looking out the window every time, and then we were just like chilling in my driveway talking, and the car pulls up and the girl gets out, and I kind of recognize her. I'm like, oh hey, first of all, how'd you know where I lived? Kind of weird.
Yeah.
2, hey. And she goes, yeah, we just like got in. We drove from Atlanta.
Did you literally say, how do you know where I live?
No,
Or
I
did you
didn't.
just think it?
I just thought it.
Okay.
And she literally drove from Atlanta with her grandmother. 10-hour drive to
Just
my
to like
house.
be
Just to say
near you?
Hey. And then they stayed at a hotel for a couple nights down the street from my house. My mom was petrified.
And
I was like fine with it.
That's borderline. Well, not borderline. That's what do you mean you were fine with it?
I wasn't like scared because
Yeah.
she had gone to a show before in Atlanta. This is a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And she was just there. Wild, right? And she stayed at a hotel, and I got a bunch of messages about like her wanting to meet up for dinner, and I didn't see any of them, I don't think, until after.
You could have got free dinner, dude.
I know. Free Cracker Barrel.
That sounds great.
But that's probably the craziest fan experience. What else we got? Questions?
I got a lot of crazy fan experiences, but we'll get into that later. Favorite venue to play at?
I have so many, man. All the House of Blues, every venue has a cool little personality trait that I love, whether it's the green room or the stage or the actual the concert hall itself. Or the food, like some places have really good food. Yeah. That place across the street from the Detroit venue, The Wings. Sweetwater.
Sweetwater.
Shout out Sweetwater.
Best wings I've ever had in my entire life.
See, I'll always remember that when I go back to the city. What else we got?
What? Wait, did you name a venue?
There's just too many.
Oh, there's just too many?
Because I like stuff about every single one.
Yeah. I think, off the top of my head, honestly, all the House of Blueses are great. Yeah.
They're just very professional.
Take care of you. Yeah, the catering is awesome.
The sound's always good. The lighting is
great. It's a very professional situation. All the Columbus always takes care of us too when we play Express Live. That's always great. Troubadour is. Oh, dude, come on.
Troubadour's gonna be great. I think that might be my new favorite one.
Alrighty, not a tour question, but not answering this.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Favorite Netflix show or movie right now?
Netflix?
I think so, specifically.
I've been fucking with Netflix.
You've been watching The Office?
Office.
No, but specifically Netflix shows?
Side note, I watched 1917 last night. Have you seen that shit?
The scary movie?
1917.
No.
Army movie. Oh, it's awesome. It's so dope. Good? It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Let's check it out. Wait, what's it about?
I've been doing nightly movie reviews.
Yeah.
We've been watching a movie every single night because of not being able to do anything.
Yeah.
It's about World War I and these two guys the first shot is a 38-minute one shot.
Woo!
And it's beautiful.
Really?
Dude, I don't know how they did it. They had to cut somewhere. But it's supposedly a one shot. It's crazy.
World War I is the forgotten...
It was brutal, dude.
Oh, here we go. The real questions. Favorite member of the band?
Favorite member of the band is the one that I'm doing the podcast with.
Oh, there we go. Love it.
You got some good juicy tour ones.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you got a lot in there.
Yes. Favorite food to eat on tour?
Favorite food to eat on tour for me is an assortment of nuts, whether it's cashews or almonds.
Weird answer.
Bro, people say it's so weird, but probably nuts. Probably that's just my favorite. Or the city's specialty.
All right, I'll accept the nuts answer.
What about you?
Favorite, I guess, yeah. That's nuts is a classic because you're in the van for forever.
Yep.
So I guess I would have to think about it from that standpoint. I eat a lot of sunflower seeds.
You do, man.
On tour,
you should have
an easy
coffee cup while you're driving and you're just spitting.
Yeah,
seeds.
I just gotta drive and sometimes it's late, so you just gotta
playing Rascal Flatts.
Cars version.
We have an entire tour playlist that consists of Shania Twain, Rascal Flatts,
all the classics.
Hunter Hayes is actually on there. Gonna have a strong warning.
I forgot about Hunter Hayes, dude. So good.
It's a great song.
So good.
Don't you lie. Juicy tour questions.
Do you plan on coming back to Washington? The state? I'm gonna go with the state.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. Washington and Seattle has always been one of my favorite cities. That was one of my favorite.
Seattle was wild on the last tour.
Yeah, I remember it was the first show to sell out on the Freaking Out tour, and I am in love with that city in general. The landscape, the people, the PNW in general, even Portland, all that has such a special magic energy.
It's beautiful up there. Just driving over there.
Right. Yeah. It's the only time I am never mad about driving 5 hours when we drive down that Pacific coast.
Yeah, dude.
And we're just in heaven, dude. The whole time, I'm sad beautiful. Once we get to California.
I know. And looks weird. It doesn't look beautiful anymore. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I would assume. Oh, sorry. We'll go back.
See a good one.
Well, we have a. Can you come to New Jersey for once? A little animosity there, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I understand. I've been to New Jersey a couple times.
New Jersey's close to New York.
Yeah, I think that's why we haven't been there more is because it's close to New York. But I agree. I think the reasoning is that if I'm being totally honest, is the agents don't want you to play two places so close together because they want all the tickets to kind of be in one spot.
And if you're gonna go somewhere, it's gonna be New York City, obviously.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people will come out to New York City because of the billions of people that live there.
Yeah.
That's probably why, but I would love to come back. I had some really, really fun times in New Jersey.
Sluggers.
It wasn't Sluggers.
What was it called?
I forget, man. Dingbats.
Dingbats. Yeah, that's
We
right.
played at Dingbats, and it was literally a bar.
Oh, Sluggers is that bar in Chicago
Yeah,
where
Dingbats.
we never get to do drunk.
Dingbats is that like bar venue. It's like a rock. It's
That's
like
a good tour story, but maybe not just what happened at Dingbats.
I don't remember what happened at Dingbats.
Perhaps we'll talk about it.
Give me like a keyword.
There was a almost fist fight.
That was actually Crossroads.
Sorry, okay, that was in New Jersey too.
This is
though.
2016. We literally played it. This is a diner.
Yeah.
It's a glorified diner with a stage probably this tall. Probably about 40 people there. 35, 40.
Yeah,
It was fine. But yeah, it was weird. No, we can talk about that. The people that we were opening for, the band, like literally got in a fight with
the kitchen staff. Like,
oh, dude, yeah, that was horrible.
And
man.
that was when because
that was when I was like, we shouldn't be playing.
we shouldn't be doing that. Well, we were coming from another gig too. And
that was a mess, man.
It was just a disaster. So we literally drove up, and I'm loading the drums in through the kitchen because that was where you had to load in. And then there's like a legit almost fist fight between the kitchen staff and the people that we're supposed to be playing with.
Weird times.
Yes.
Weirder than COVID.
Sluggers is a great bar. That's true. All right. Have you had
Tour questions.
a favorite place that you will always try to put on your tour list?
There's literally too many. Like I think like we'll always hit.
I think name five cities you'll always hit.
So for obvious reasons, for amount of people in each city included.
All right, let's not do New York or like LA because you're gonna.
I was going to include New York and LA. Okay, let's go with Columbus, Chicago, Minneapolis.
Quick three.
Let's go with. So I'm counting some cities that are like around stuff, so you can get to it. I'm gonna go with Atlanta.
Okay, it's 4. I'm gonna go with this truck. Hopefully
I'm
we
gonna
got that.
choose between Denver and Washington because that's.
You mean
that's
Seattle
so
or
hard.
like just
Yeah,
Washington State?
Seattle and Washington.
Yeah.
But I love playing in Atlanta. That's why I kind of put it on there.
fun.
But also, if you're in like Florida or Carolinas or Louisiana, you can just
Not far.
Tennessee even. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I love playing in Denver. We really like that last Denver freaking
Isn't
out
that
show.
Weird? Like I just never would expect Denver to be an awesome place.
We
to
put it on the
to
tour, and I was super nervous about that, dude.
Yeah.
And I didn't think anybody would come. I would be happy if there was like 50 people there, and we were like 15, 16 tickets from selling it out. It was almost sold
Crazy.
out. And I remember that was one of the only shows that I got that like I was trying to talk and people were screaming.
Really, that's true.
And like it was the end of the show and it was after my last song and I was like, and I couldn't even talk because they were screaming. That is my favorite shit at a show.
That is
when
cool.
the crowd is just screaming nonstop and you're just like, this is unbelievable.
Well, because you know that they are having or had a great time. It's very reaffirming to know that we put on a good show.
That show was oh man, I missed touring so bad, dude. I'm so
and our
sad.
green room was an RV.
That was
which was
sick as
cool. That
fuck.
sounds weird, but that was actually really cool.
It was like a classic like 50s, 60s
yeah,
like chrome RV.
right.
Yeah, that was so fun, bro.
Oh, there's free barbecue.
That was so sick, dude. Let's take me back there
Free barbecue.
right now. Eben came on stage with me. That was so fun.
Eben came on stage.
Hi, this is Spencer. You might know me from the video that you were watching 30 seconds ago or less. Hey, if you haven't yet, please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. This is the only way that I can make any money in the world ever. So if you don't like and subscribe, I'm gonna go poor. I love you. Goodbye.
All right.
Immaculate.
Who do you not let drive on tour? You.
I'm literally the only person that Caden too. Caden's driven something before, but I've literally never driven once on tour.
That's yes, probably for good reason.
Yeah, I think.
Well, Caden's usually working, which
Yeah.
makes sense, and Andrew's usually working, which also makes sense.
But Andrew does drive, like especially at 2 a.m.
Oh, if there's like we need to push.
Our keyboardist doesn't sleep, so
I guess it's mostly Jordan and I,
Right.
and then whatever merch or sound person that we've wrangled
Yeah.
into the crew, they'll also drive.
right.
which just reminded me of more stories.
Yeah.
But we don't have to go.
We don't have to go down that road.
We don't have to go down that route. Who is the messiest person from the whole tour crew?
That's a really good question. What do you think?
Messiest person?
I wouldn't even go so far to say any of us are super messy.
Yeah, I can't really think that any. I mean, we're all pretty respectful. I mean,
Am I messy?
no, I don't think any of us are messy. Like, I think honestly, because you have to be. I mean, like the van, or rather, you don't. You have to be clean. Is what I meant to say. Like, the van is where you're living essentially.
Yeah,
so,
I would
like,
say I wouldn't even call it messy, but I'm pretty spread out. I got all my shit like all over the place. Like all
Yeah, but
my,
you're like in the
weird-
front seat and like your things are there. It's
Right.
not like you have
Yeah.
like, hey.
Yeah, I wouldn't say anybody's super messy.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
No.
and that's like a whole other topic that we don't have to really get into. But like that kind of stuff is completely invaluable. I mean, showering, like just keeping the van clean, like all those kind of things are like what makes a tour good.
Yeah.
If you have the one dude that didn't shower that day and it's disgusting. Hey, when's lunch? Oh, it's right now. All right, last question, which is a good one. Any pre or post show rituals?
We have quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'd say our post-show ritual, which is my favorite, is driving away from the venue, blasting "Man, I Feel Like a Woman" by Shania Twain, followed by all the rest of the playlist.
Yeah.
Pre-show, shot of tequila,
Yeah.
2 shots of tequila.
A couple shots of tequila. 10 shots of tequila.
I always yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it.
I think the general, I don't know if ritual is the right term, but it's like, I feel like there's a routine. We'll get there, we load in, we sound check.
have some veggie chips.
Yeah, we have some snacks. Someone will go grab some coffees for everybody. We'll we'll make sure the meet and greet runs well, all those kind of things. And then maybe some people are hanging in the green room or just chilling, but usually like an hour, maybe 45 before the show,
Everybody's out.
we clear the green room out.
Just the crew.
Yeah, we like actually start to focus and think. I mean, we're having fun.
I
but
start
it's
steaming
like,
my shirt. I do. I actually travel with my own steamer.
It's smart.
Yeah, I do. I steam my own.
But I
steam
think
my
that
own
hour is actually really important.
It
to,
is, dude. It's
have
like
that
it's like
focus.
the moment that we can fully focus and get dialed in. Like for me to get dressed
Yeah.
and get all my shit on, and then also
We all warm up. We talk through the show.
we drink a little bit. That's the moment we get loose.
Mm-hmm.
But we're also super focused. I can't really explain it other than
No,
that.
it makes sense. I mean, like you're just getting you're getting in the performance mindset. You're getting
Right.
ready to perform and have fun, and yeah, I think that's awesome.
Right.
Sorry for the quick break. When's lunch? We'll be back right now.
We could. You know what we could do too?
What's
we
that?
could do touring stories part 2 as well. Like we can.
I mean, I honestly feel like we barely scratched the surface.
That's what I was like. That's why I meant. That's why I said like we should continue telling. Is there any more stories? But honestly, we have literally just scratched the surface. We have so many more stories, and if
Yeah.
this gets a good response, maybe we go a little deeper, get a little dirtier, get a little juicier.
A little juicier.
Because I have like 4 on my head right now that
Yeah.
I thought about talking about, but we probably shouldn't. Or there might be a way we could tell it in the future where it's.
Yeah, I think there has to be some, level of anonymity because you can't out people
Yeah. Right.
that aren't here to vouch for themselves.
Exactly. It's got to be anonymous, but
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with an anonymous story. Is that it? Are we signing off?
Yeah, I think we can sign off. We're
I'm just gonna go ahead and ask the question: when's lunch?
you tell us. Wait, we forgot.
What?
One word to describe your day today.
Oh. One word to describe my day today. Positive. I had a very positive day.
I like that. Mine. My last one was productive, but today was productive too.
Dig deep.
Dig deep.
Dig
All right,
very deep for this one because I think you'll find something that you were looking for.
I like that. Mindful,
That's a very, very good one.
which it was.
Yeah,
that was
right.
real. All right.
That's good.
Well, thank you for watching When's Lunch.
When is lunch?
You tell us.
Bye, guys.
When's lunch? When's lunch? When's lunch? Oh no.